Hello grade 9 and welcome to week 3 of our online class for quarter 2. So our topic for the week will be all about rational exponents. Okay. For the learning objectives, at the end of the lesson, you must be able to apply the laws involving positive integral exponents to zero and negative integral exponents, illustrate expressions with rational exponents, and lastly, simplify expressions with rational exponents. Okay. So I have here a simple illustration about radicals and a rational exponent. Okay. So when we have this one, we can convert radicals in rational exponents. So for example, I have here fifth root of 7 raised to 2. And then we can convert it as 7 raised to 2 over 5. Okay. So the number below, or the denominator for the exponent, when we have a number or a letter or variable that is raised to a fractional exponent, will be the index. For example, this is what we call the index, and then it will be converted to 2 over 5 when we have for the rational exponents. Okay, so 7 raised to 2, and then insert over 5 for the exponent. So again, the denominator part of the exponent will be the index or the root. Okay. And for example, we have here the rational exponents or the fractional exponents. So for example, we have here a raised to 1 over n. So n will be the denominators, therefore it will be the value of the roots or the index. And then we have here a raised to 1, or we can write it as simply a. So it will be nth root of 8. And then for example, next one we have here a raised to m over n. So we can write it as nth root of square root of a, or nth root of a raised to m. Or we can say that nth root of a raised to m with this parentheses. Okay. So the number inside a radical sign is what we call radicand. So this is what we call the radical. For example, we have here a. So the radicand with this example is a. The index will be n. And then we have here the radical sign or the radical symbol. So for rule number 1, let be a real number and n a positive integer. So we define the number as a raised to 1 over n as follows. If n is odd, then a raised to 1 over n is a real such that, for example, this one, a raised to 1 over n times a raised to 1 over n, and so on and so forth. So we can write it as a raised to 1 over n and then raised to n equals a. Okay, so again, if n is odd, then a raised to 1 over n is real. Okay, such that we can factor it as like this one. For rule number 2, if n is even, then a raised to 1 over n is non-negative real such that, we can write it as a raised to 1 over n raised to n also. Okay, and then it will be equal to 1. Okay, let's study the following, and then let's say if it's a real or not a real number or undefined number. So for example, I have here express 27 as a power of 3. Okay, so we need to find a number that when we raise it using the index. So for example, the index here is 3 because it is the denominator. So that's why we need to have 3 as the exponent. For example, we need to look, or we need to think of a number that when we raise it, we will have 3 as the exponent. So for example, 3 raised to 3, it is equivalent to 427 because 3 times 3 is 9 times 3 again, it will be 27. So therefore, we can write 27 as 3 raised to 3. And then upon multiplication, we will have here 3 times 1, it will be 3. And then 3, and then 1 times 3, it will be 3. And then 3 over 3 will be just simply 1. and we can omit writing 1 for the exponent. So we will have the final answer, which is 3. So therefore, 27 raised to 1/3 will be a real number. Next one, so we have here 64. Okay, so we need to have a number that when we raise it, it will be raised to 6 because our index is 6. So it will be converted from 64, it will be 2 raised to 6. And then 6 times 1, it will be 6. 1 times 6, the answer will be 6. And 6 divided by 6, the answer will be 1. So therefore, we have here 2 as the value. Therefore, 64 raised to 1/6 will be a real number. Okay, next one. Express negative 125 as a power of negative 5. So, for example, I have here negative 125 raised to 1/3. Okay, so we need to think of a number that when we raise it as 3, it will be equal to negative 25. Okay, so when we multiply negative 5 by negative 5, it will be 25. But 25 times negative 5, the answer will be negative 125. So that means it satisfies this condition wherein we need to have an answer with negative 125. So upon simplification, we will have negative 5 as the answer. So therefore, we will have negative 125 raised to 1/3 is a real number. Okay, so next example, we have here negative 81 rather. Again, so negative 81 raised to 1/4. Okay, so we need to think of a number that when we raise it as 4, we will have negative 81. But we have here a number, or negative 3, it will be equal to 81. But it will be equal to positive 81 because negative 3 times negative 3, it will be 9. And then 9 times negative 3, the answer will be negative 27. And then lastly, raised to 4, negative 27 multiplied by negative 3, so the answer will be positive 81. So therefore, it will not satisfy the condition wherein we need to have negative 81 as the value for the radicand. So that's why it is not a real number. Okay, last one. So we have here negative raised to 1/2. So we need to think of a number wherein it will be equivalent for 100. Okay, so negative sign is not part of the base being raised to 1/2. Rather, it is just a coefficient of 100. Okay. Okay, so let's analyze the given. So within this given, negative or the negative sign is together with the value, which is the number, which is 81. So all in all, we can say that this is negative 81. But on the other hand, when we have example number 5, we don't have a parenthesis. So therefore, we can exclude this negative sign. So it will be 100 raised to, so negative and then parenthesis, 100 parentheses and then raised to 1/2. So we can omit the value for this one. So the negative sign is not part of the base being raised to 1/2. So we just need to find a value of n that when we raise it, we will have 100. Okay, so we will have 10 raised to 2 for 100. And then upon solving, we will have negative 100 raised to 1/2. It will be 10 squared, negative, tapos 10 squared, and then raised to 1/2. So it will be negative, and then 2 over 2, which is just 1. So upon simplification, we will have negative 10 as the value of this one. So therefore, negative 100 raised to 1/2 is a real number. Okay, so the difference between, again, the difference between the given for number 4 and then for this number is that the negative sign is not included within the parentheses. Okay, when we write this example, we can write it as like this. So negative quantity 100 raised to 1/2. And then this one is like this. So negative 81, the negative sign is included already. Okay, so that will be the difference between the given examples. So that will be all for this video, and our next topic will be all about simplifying rational expressions.